Happy Weather Wednesday, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jason Laird with your ClearSource forecast. All right, I tell you what, over the next couple of days, wind remains the talking point. In terms of weather alerts, we still have a couple of wind alerts into south central Montana. It's staying pretty darn breezy all throughout central and eastern Montana here over the next couple of days. I wanted to touch on snowpack a little bit on today's Weather Wednesday as well. You know, the plains into eastern Montana, we haven't seen a lot. Mountains not faring too bad. This is over the last 6 hours or so. Decent amount of accumulation into western Montana, even a little tiny bit down into south central Montana. This particular graphic is showing you the snow water equivalent percentage of normal. Big term, all it means is what the actual water quantity is of the snow. So as we take a look at some of the drainage basins and mountain ranges, Marias Basin not too bad, 123% of normal, Bear Paw in at about 92, St. Mary about 116, even into south central Montana, taking a look at the Yellowstone area, about 122, Muscle in at 99. So really not bad in terms of the mountains and snowpack, especially when it comes to the actual water quantity that we're seeing. Now, focusing in on drought. Obviously, that doesn't directly correlate to our drought, especially when we haven't seen that significant moisture into the lower elevations. So we're still tracking some very dry pockets into central Montana, everything from moderate drought to severe and even extreme drought into a couple chunks into central Montana. But wind remains the talking point. We're taking a look at our jet stream right now, so the very top part of the atmosphere and whatnot, and it's not really split. I know it looks split, but it's not bad. Just the strongest winds right across Montana. It's hard to see the Montana outline, but there it is. We're seeing those strongest winds kick up just on the leeward side of the mountains and extend a little bit into eastern Montana. The wind gust forecast, or I should say the current wind gust right now, the areas shaded in yellow here are seeing gusts at or just above 40 miles per hour. We're still seeing some pretty strong winds though into central Montana throughout the area, and it's going to stay windy over the next couple of days. As we take a look at your extended forecast from the National Weather Service here, in terms of precipitation, pretty uneventful. Still going to be looking at some mountain flurries into western, southwestern, even a few into central Montana here. As we head into the overnight hours, again, maybe a little flurry or two into the high terrain, but really a pretty mild weather pattern other than the wind. We're going to see temperatures pretty darn close to average, maybe a couple of degrees above, 20-30s out west, still in that mid to upper 30s for the most part for central Montana, a little cooler into the 30s than out east. Thursday evening, again, high pressure dominates, hence why we're going to stay a little bit windy as we head toward the weekend as well. By Thursday evening, same story. We'll get a couple little weather disturbances that will move through, potentially kicking off a little bit of snow into the mountains, but nothing too crazy there. By Friday morning, same story. Weak cold front tries to drop in. Temperatures, for the most part, pretty unaffected as that system settles in. Just really mountain flurries over the next couple of days or so. Now, I wanted to show you middle of next week, Wednesday into Thursday. See that little area of low pressure? Kind of a quick system. Let me back that up for you. You're going to see it. So again, we're looking Wednesday into Thursday, area of low pressure, and it starts to settle in the next weekend. The reason I point that out, I'm not overly excited about it right now. As you saw in the forecast model, it doesn't appear to be doing much. Forecast models, it's a ways out. There's still a little bit of difference in those models, but I show you that area of low pressure because it's a decent little cell that's trying to drop down late next week, so like Thursday, Friday, not this week, next week, Thursday, Friday or so, maybe into the weekend. So I'm keeping an eye on it right now, not overly excited about it. Just to recap here, January, February, March, how are things looking? I don't think we're going to see the full impacts of this extended forecast until maybe late January, early February. Still looking at maybe some cooler temperatures, especially into eastern Montana. A lot of that is due to the shift in the ENSO. So in other words, La Nina shifting to more neutral stages. We've been talking a lot about that. I need to just do a dedicated video on La Nina, El Nino, and that shift and how things are looking late winter into spring. If you'd like me to do a video on that to really break it down, let me know in the comments. As La Nina fades, we'll likely see a little uptick in the moisture there. I would say more February, March. But again, when you combine that seasonal outlook, it's kind of encompassing the next three. I think most of that moisture will fall more February, March. So really quick recap here on your weather headlines. Again, pretty uneventful for the most part. Other than the wind, it is going to stay windy into the weekend. Maybe some snow late next week. We'll keep an eye on that. So thanks for joining us on your Weather Wednesday here for your ClearSource forecast. Again, I'm meteorologist Jason Laird. Like and subscribe. Can't thank you enough for your time. We'll see you next week.